Hello class, today our topic is carboxylic acid. Dalam bahasa Melayu dikenali sebagai asid carboxylic. So where can we see or feel or use carboxylic acid in our daily life? Number 1, ant bites ataupun gigitan-gigitan semut causes pain because ant bites contain methanoic acid or formic acid. So, formic acid adalah nama industri untuk asid metanoik. The second situation is vinegar, cuka. Cuka contains ethanoic acid ataupun acid ethanoic, which is also known as acetic acid. So, setiap carboxylic acid ini mengandungi nama industri yang pelbagai. If methanoic acid, it is known as formic acid. Ethanoic acid, it is known as acetic acid. So do you know that ethanoic acid and methanoic acid are members of carboxylic acid homologous series? So I would like to remind you one more time, we are now in the fourth homologous series. The first homologous series that we have learned is alkane. The second one is alkene. The third one is alcohol. And now we are learning the fourth homologous series, which is called carboxylic acid. So, apa itu carboxylic acid? It's a non-hydrocarbon. Bukan hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon. Non maksudnya dia ada unsur yang lain. So, in carboxylic acid, it contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. It is the same like alcohol. Okay, alcohol also contain oxygen in it. So, since it has oxygen atoms in it, so it is called as non-hydrocarbon. Functional group for carboxylic acid is carboxyl group. Carboxyl group. COOH. So I would like to remind you one more time. Functional group is different for each homologous series. If you are talking about alkane, the functional group is the single bond between the carbon atoms. If you are talking about alkene, the functional group is the double bond between the carbon atoms. And if we are talking about alcohol, the functional group is the hydroxyl group. If we write it out, it is OH. Okay, so the functional group for carboxylic acid is carboxyl group, COOH. General formula. So each homologous series has its own general formula. Same goes to this carboxylic acid. CnH2n plus 1 COOH, where n starts from 0 and then 1 and then 2 and then 3. So please remember that alkane starts from 1, alkene starts from 2, alcohol starts from 1, and our carboxylic acid is different. It starts from 0. So let us see how to name. This is the structural formula for the first member of carboxylic acid. Okay, look at this structure over here. I will highlight it here. This is the functional group. So this is how you draw it. Okay, there is a double bond from C to O, and then a single bond from C to OH. If you want to draw it this way, H and then C double bond O, OH, also correct, also accepted. Like this, also accepted. As long as you still remember the rules, okay? The hydrogen bond, okay, need to be formed between this H and also H from a water molecule. So remember, the bond from C must be connected to O, not H, because we need the H to form another hydrogen bond in water. Since carboxylic acid is soluble in water. So remember, you want to draw it this way, miring-miring pun boleh, straight like this also can. I prefer this one. Okay, I prefer this one. I draw it one more time. You start from H and then C. Remember, the C is forming a double bond with an O and also a single bond with OH. So this is the carboxyl group. Carboxyl group is the functional group for the carboxylic acid. This will make it functioning. So how to name it? Naming carboxylic acid according to the IUPAC nomenclature. First, you need to determine the number of carbon atoms first and state the corresponding alkane name. After you identify how many number of carbon atoms it has, so you replace the E ending from the alkane with OIC acid, oic acid. For example, if you see this HCOOH, apa nama dia ni? Apa ni? So, count first. Kira dulu bilangan atom karbon. 1 kan? There is only 1 carbon atom. So, if it's 1 carbon atom, itu adalah methane. Methane. So, you buang buang E, okay? And then you replace it with OIC. Methane will become methanoic acid. Ethane will become ethanoic acid. Propane will become propanoic acid. Let's go to the next example. If you see this formula here, CH3COOH, count first how many carbon atoms it has. Ada 1, ada 2. There are 2 carbon atoms. So if there are 2 carbon atoms, remember, my elephant pergi beli kan? So second one, ada 2 atom carbon. So that alkane is known as ethane. Kan the second one, right? Ethane. So buang E and then replace it with OIC acid. So ethane will become ethanoic acid. Okay, so that's how you name the carboxylic acid. Okay, let's form the formula first. Okay, molecular formula. For example, what is the first member molecular formula? Look at the general formula. CN. N now is 0 because the first member is 0. This one. The first member is 0. So C0, H2N plus 1. N replaced with 0 because the first member that we are trying to find now. Plus 1, COOH. So C darab kosong, it's already kosong. You don't write C kosong already. No need. And then H2 times 0. Already kosong. This one already kosong. So, tinggal 1. Okay, this one kosong already. So, HCOOH. And I believe you understand that we omit. Kita buangkan the 1. No need to write 1 here. Okay, so that is how you form the molecular formula for carboxylic acid. So, this is your first task for today's lesson. Activity 2F. Copy and complete table 2.9 to show the molecular formula, structural formula, and the names for the first 6 straight chain members. First 6 only, okay? And then, this is the worksheet that you are given through the QR code here. I already scanned for you. So, this is the thing that you need to copy in your exercise book. Okay, now we are going to continue to the next lesson. The next lesson is about the physical properties of carboxylic acid. Let us look at this one. This is the notes from Cikgu Azmi's book. Okay, this one can be found in page 125. So let us look at this one. Cikgu Azmi also tell you that the general formula for carboxylic acid is like this. Okay. And then, where the N starts from 0, 1, and 2. So, the functional group is carboxyl group. Okay, COOH. What are the physical properties? Sifat fizik that you can see. 1. Cecair tak berwarna. It's a colorless liquid. Okay, a colorless liquid. Pure glacial ethanoic acid does not contain water, exists as neutral molecule. Okay, this is the term that you need to use. Asid ethanoic toluene, dia berbentuk glacial. Glacial maksudnya seperti ais. Ais. Dia tiada water, hanya wujud sebagai neutral molecule. And then, number 3, bau tengik, sharp or unpleasant odor, pungent smell like vinegar, macam cuka, tajam lah. Okay, boiling point increase with the increasing number of carbon atoms per molecule. Maksudnya, from the methanoic acid, my elephant pergi beli pen. As you go down the homologous series, dia punya number of carbon atoms also increases. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as the number of carbon atom increases, boiling points also increase. Ethanoic acid has a boiling point of 118 and a melting point of 17 degrees Celsius. Ethanoic acid boiling point is higher than water. Water is 100 degrees Celsius, but it will melt at 17 degrees Celsius. Why Cikgu Azmi is focusing on ethanoic acid, not methanoic acid, not propanoic acid? Because in the syllabus that you need to learn, only ethanoic acid that will be asked a lot. Ini saja yang akan ditanya banyak. Okay? Sangat larut dalam air, very soluble in water. Remember, the C double bond O and also OH, this H will form another hydrogen bond with a lot of water molecule. Okay, ini banyak ni ya. Okay. Now, next. Ethanoic acid can conduct electricity because they have free moving ion. Okay, they have free moving ion. It can carry charge, ethanoic acid. Tetapi, look at this one. If it's a pure glacial ethanoic acid, ini cannot conduct electricity, okay? If you see a word pure, a glacial, toluene, ethanoic acid, cannot conduct electricity. It exists as neutral molecule. Tidak ada free moving ion. Sebab does not contain water. Tapi ethanoic acid like this, a plain one, yes, this one can conduct electricity. So we are done with the chemical properties. Look at what we have learned just now. I already introduced you to the I already introduced you to the carboxylic acid. Okay, this is the introduction here. It's a non-hydrocarbon, the functional group, the general formula, and then I already introduced you to the physical properties. Okay, now we are going to enter the chemical properties. So let us look at the chemical properties here. Chemical reaction lah. So carboxylic acid can be produced from the oxidation of alcohol. If you still remember, we already learned about this, alcohol. Let me remind you one more time. If we have alcohol, ethanol. If we have ethanol, and then we add some, if you still remember, there is an equation like this. We use the O only. And this O menggambarkan ataupun mewakili KMNO4 and also K2Cr2O7. Both of these are known as oxidizing agent. And I hope you still remember, if KMNO4, the color changes that you should be able to see is from purple to colorless. And if you use K2Cr2O7, you should be able to see a color changes from orange to green. So in the pengoksidaan alcohol, if you choose any of these, you can get ethanoic acid at the end of the experiment. Ethanoic acid. Ethanol will become ethanoic acid. Propanol will become propanoic acid. Butanol become butanoic acid. So that is how they produce carboxylic acid. It is from the oxidation of alcohol. So ethanoic acid. Again, I would like to remind you, ethanoic acid sahaja yang akan difokuskan, okay, dalam subtopik ini, carboxylic acid, ethanoic acid. The most common one, cuka. Dalam dapur pun ada. So ethanoic acid is produced when ethanol is oxidized by oxidizing agent. I told you just now, acidified potassium manganate 7 solution or acidified potassium dichromate 6 solution through the reflux method as shown in figure 2.15. So, kita tengok dulu dia punya persamaan kimia. So, this is the structural formula. If you see like this is alcohol. You understand already kan? Kalau alkohol ada kumpulan berfungsi or functional group OH. So, this is known as ethanol. Kenapa? Sebab ada 1C, 2C. Methanol, ethanol. My elephant. Tambah dengan 2O. Ini mewakili oxidizing agent. I told you already, we do not write KMNO4. We do not write K2CR2O7 in our equation. Kita hanya guna O because we need the oxygen only. So, plus or reacts with oxidizing agent will produce, if you use ethanol, you get ethanoic acid. If you use if you use propanol, you get propanoic acid. Okay? And also a molecule of water. So, this is how they produce ethanoic acid in the lab. Same goes to propanoic acid, butanoic acid, sama lah. Okay, so this is the ethanol oxidation reaction by oxidizing agent through reflux. So reflux, I showed you the experiment done by other teachers in the Google Classroom. I attached the link. I hope you watch already. Now, water in and water out. Condenser, Liebig atau Liebig condenser in English. So what is inside your round bottom flask is ethanol plus oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent sama ada KMNO4 or K2CR2O7 lah. Okay, water bath. Now, kenapa reflux method? Why do we need to use Liebig condenser? Tidak bolehkah heat saja and then we get the alcohol terus in one beaker? Okay, this is the reason why. Reflux method is to ensure, memastikan that ethanol reacts completely with the oxidizing agent. Mesti untuk memastikan semua alkohol bertindak balas completely. So Liebig condenser that is fitted upright secara menegak into a round bottom flask will condense, okay, memampatkan ethanol vapor, uap ethanol kepada liquid. So dia tukarkan gas yang terhasil kepada liquid. Liquid ethanol flows back into the round bottom flask again, flow lagi balik supaya boleh bertindak balas sepenuhnya. So kenapa guna reflux adalah untuk memastikan semua alkohol sudah lengkap bertindak balas dengan agen pengoksidaan. The chemical properties of carboxylic acid are studied through the chemical reaction of ethanoic acid. So each homologous series ada chemical properties. Same goes to carboxylic acid. So there are two important chemical reaction. One, reaction as an acid, and two, reaction with alcohol. Okay, let us look at the first one. Chemical reactions of ethanoic acid. Sekali lagi, I would like to remind you, in this subtopic about carboxylic acid, memang acid ethanoic sahaja yang difokuskan. Okay, of course you can use others lah, but this one is the example because the most common, paling biasa punya. So carboxylic acid plus base, ini acid, ini base, okay, will produce carboxylate salt and water. I hope you still remember how this one is formed. I write for you here so that you can reminisce, boleh ingat balik. So this one, if we ionize it, it will become CH3COO minus and also H plus. And this one, if we ionize, it will become Cu2 plus and O2 minus. So bila kita gabungkan, we take the negative and the positive. The negative here and the positive. Okay, so I will write the green one first. This will become CH3COO, okay, reacts with Cu2 plus. So these two will go here and then negative kan. That is why dia jadi begini. CH3COO kurungan 2 Cu. Why kurungan 2? Because the 2 comes from the Cu punya charge. Okay. Teacher, tidak bolehkah kita tulis macam begini? Cu kemudian CH3COO begini. Boleh ya? Diterima juga. Don't worry. Next, don't forget, if you see hydrogen and oxide bertindak balas, so you can get water. Itu yang pertama, the first reaction, okay? Between a carboxylic and base. Base and carboxylic acid menghasilkan garam, carboxylate salt and water. Number 2, okay, number 2, when a carboxylic acid reacts with metal carbonate, contoh, ethanoic acid lagi. Ethanoic acid reacts with metal carbonate. Na metal, right, from group 1. Carbonate, okay. NaCO3, it will produce salt again, carboxylate salt, water and carbon dioxide. Ingat, this is what we have learned in chapter 7 form 4 actually. Acid and metal carbonate will produce carboxylate salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. Okay, how this is formed? This one. How this one is formed? Let me write it again for you. Now, this one, if I want to ionize it, it will become CH3COO minus and H plus. This one is known as ethanoate ion. Ion ethanoate. And this one, if I ionize this one, it will become Na plus and CO3 2 minus. So we take the negative and the positive. Let's combine it. Then it will become macam begini. Okay. So this one will become water and this will form carbon dioxide gas. Okay, let us go to the third one. When a carboxylic acid reacts with metal, it will form carboxylate salt and hydrogen gas. Okay, ini adalah sifat kimia asid lah yang biasa. Iaitu apabila nampak asid bertindak balas dengan logam, they will produce garam dan hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas. So do you know? So let us look at this one. Ethanoic acid is a weak acid that partially ionizes in water, producing low concentration of hydrogen ion. That is why, if you see like this, kan class, this is two ways, okay? When ethanoic acid ionizes in water, dalam air mengayon, dia terpisah. Terpisah jadi apa? Ethanoate ion and also hydrogen ion. Okay? So, when you want to construct the formula contoh for copper 2 ethanoate, okay, ini like I showed you just now, ionize first, then you can get the ethanoate ion. The negative one will react with the positive one. Usually we write this behind lah, the positive one behind, usually. Okay, we are done with the first chemical properties for carboxylic acid. Now, let us go to the second chemical properties, reaction with alcohol. Carboxylic acid reacts with alcohol to produce ester and water. This is something new. Okay, when you see carboxylic acid reacts with any alcohol and dimungkinkan catalyze with a concentrated sulfuric acid, it will form ester. Ester and water. This reaction is called esterification, pengesteran, with the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid as a catalyst. Example, when a mixture of glacial ethanoic acid, ethanoic acid and ethanol reacts with a few drops of concentrated H2SO4 is heated, dipanaskan, an ester called ethyl ethanoate form. Okay, let me explain through the structural formula. Now, tengok sini. ethanoic acid, the formula comes from the CnH2n plus 1 COOH, where the N is 1. Okay, the second member, because carboxylic acid can starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the second member, ethanoic acid. So C1H 2 times 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, COOH. So we write it as CH3COOH, cuka, ethanoic acid, acetic acid, nama dia. Okay, so this is the formula, the molecular formula. How to draw? Draw this one, belakang first. Okay, COOH, COOH. And then you draw another C here, Nina. Yang C di depan ni, okay, di sebelah COOH. Ini kan functional group, mesti lukis duluan. This one, and then followed by this C. C, and then ada 3 H here. 1, 2, 3 H. Okay? Always, if you want to find apa bah produk untuk esterification, apa bah hasil when alcohol reacts with carboxylic acid, you must draw. Permulaan lah. Okay? To familiarize yourself, mesti lukis. Lebih senang untuk faham. So after you draw the structural formula for ethanoic acid, you draw the ethanol. Cuma this ethanol, this one I hope you still remember, ethanol C2H5OH. Dari mana ini datang? Daripada CnH2n plus 1 OH. N sama dengan 2. Okay, because alcohol punya member pertama is 1, member kedua is 2, member kedua is ethanol. So ganti saja C2H 2 kali 2 4, 4 tambah 1 5 OH. Okay, so when you have found the molecular formula, kasih terbalik the OH, Nina. Kan OH kan hydroxyl group kan, but memandangkan sekarang ni kita mau lukis, kita mau tahu apa berproduk from the esterification, pengesteran. So we have to kasih terbalik this one. Why? Easier for you to understand bahawa one molecule of OH and one H will be eliminated, akan dibuang. Okay, kalau kamu lukis macam begini OH, nanti bingung pula like this, you have to draw macam ni. Apa ni? Kan? Okay, so ingat, dalam second chemical properties for carboxylic acid, this is very important. Carboxylic acid can react with alcohol. Produce apa? Produce ester. Ester ni is another homologous series bah. Another one. Selain daripada alkane, alkene, alcohol, carboxylic acid. This is the fifth one that you are going to learn. Okay? So ingat, the second chemical reaction for carboxylic acid adalah it can react with alcohol to produce ester and water. Untuk membolehkan kamu menjumpai apa ester yang terhasil, mesti lukis. Okay? So tengok. Tadi kita sudah lukis the molecular structural formula for ethanoic acid. Now we draw ethanol punya structural formula. Jangan lupa kasih terbalik OH pergi HO. Kenapa? Because we want to eliminate, buang satu molekul air ke belakang. You see after you buang this one, after you eliminate this, nah, apa yang tinggal di sini? Apa yang tinggal? Sambung saja. Sambung, see. Sambung saja. This part, is actually this part. Okay, the red one. Okay, I padam. I draw it clearly for you. This part, the pink color, is actually from here. Okay, dari carboxylic acid. And then the blue part ini bermula dengan O is actually from the alcohol. So that is why I said very important for you to draw, lukis structural formula if you want to find apa ester yang terhasil. Ingat, carboxylic acid and alcohol will produce ester and water. Dari mana ini air wujud? Daripada pembuangan sini. Kasih terbalik the OH pergi jadi HO, Buang H dia dengan OH dari acid. Okay, dan kemudian sambung. Look at this. Pause the video and then try to digest the information that I am sharing right now. Okay, so now ingat there is one catalyst, H2SO4, the concentrated, a few drop on dia, a few drops. Okay, beberapa titis saja sebab dia concentrated. Okay, so now naming. Nama dia ada dua. Macam Mercy Marcella, Syarul Nizam. There are two names there. Okay, for the ester form. So, nama depan is from the alcohol. The second name is from the carboxylic acid. So, I give you more example. If you use ethanol and here you use propanoic acid, you will get, change saja. Yang ini depan, ethyl. Alkohol nama di depan. So, it will become ethyl. Kalau butanol akan jadi butyl. Like that lah. Okay, ingat lah. Nama depan for ester adalah datang daripada alkohol. Nama yang di belakang comes from the acid, the carboxylic acid. So, propanoic will become propanoate. Butanoic become butanoate. Like that lah. Okay. So, that is how you name it. Satu lagi adalah, when you want to form the molecular formula, salin saja. Condense it. C, satu here, the first one, ada 1, 2, 3 H. Okay, kasih condense dia. Condense means mampatkan dia. Kemudian COO. Salin ini di bawah. COO. Tengah-tengah, this is the this is the functional group for ester. Nanti kita belajar in the next homologous series. And then this one, C dia ada 2, right? So C2. Don't worry, you can write it like this. And then ada H. H dia berapa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ada 5 H. So that is how you write the molecular formula for ester yang terbentuk from the reaction between any carboxylic acid and any alcohol. Don't forget to write a molecule of water. Okay. So, let us look at the notes here in your textbook. Okay, I need to read it out. Ethyl ethanoate is a colorless liquid, ester ni ester, that has the sweet fruity smell and insoluble in water. Ethyl ethanoate floats, terapung, forming a layer on the surface of water. So, concentrated sulfuric acid is a catalyst in the esterification reaction. Class, ester, ethyl ethanoate sebenarnya adalah bahan kimia yang digunakan untuk mewangikan kamu punya cake, mewangikan badan kamu di dalam perfume. That will be in the next chapter. Dan juga sabun, sabun. Okay, so that's the next chapter. Next subtopic. Now we go to the chemical properties of other homologous series of carboxylic acid. Memandangkan all members of carboxylic acid homologous series have the same functional group as ethanoic acid, which is carboxyl. Thus, oleh itu, other carboxylic acid also show similar chemical properties lah. Ethanoic acid can react with alcohol, propanoic acid pun can react with alcohol, butanoic acid pun can react with alcohol to form ester. Macam begitulah. So same. All of the member of carboxylic acid yang lain-lain pun can react with base, can react with metal carbonate, can react with metal. Okay, sama saja. Cuma change the name only and the structural formula. Okay, so I will upload the work. This one, you need to write the lab report. Okay, you need to write it out, and then we will conduct the experiment. I hope we can go back to school at the 3rd week of June. Okay, so that is all about carboxylic acid that you need to know from the syllabus. Okay, I almost forgot. Uses, kegunaan. The most important carboxylic acid is ethanoic acid. You see, balik-balikan, I told you just now, ethanoic acid adalah most common. This one is widely used, sangat luas digunakan sebagai preservative, iaitu pengawet makanan in chili sauce, ketchup and other flavorings. Okay, acid. Ethanoic acid ada dalam food preservative. And then ethanoic acid is also widely used as raw materials with other chemical to produce apa? Menghasilkan dyes, dye, warna lah, paints, pesticide racun serangga, and plastics. Methanoic acid is used in the rubber industry for coagulation of latex. This we will learn in the 5th chapter from 5. Penggumpalan latex susu getah. Fatty acids are long-chain carboxylic acid used to make soap. Membuat sabun. 5th chapter, we are going to make sabun. Okay, carboxylic acid is also used to manufacture polymers, namely polymers such as terylene, polyamide such as nylon, untuk buat tali nilon. So those are the uses of carboxylic acid. Go to Chigo Azami's book. Go to Chigo Azami's book, and then I want all of you to do all the exercise about carboxylic acid. Okay, it starts from page, this is Alkana. Okay, let me show you first. Okay, this is alcohol, you have done already. Please do the exercises about carboxylic acid from page 1 to 7 until habis. I will upload the works in the Google Classroom. Okay, thank you very much to those who listen attentively and do the work genuinely. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Okay, pandemic learning is very hard for you and me. Okay, please bear with it. One more week left. Okay, see you in June.